Cucumbers provide exceptional hydration due to their high water content, plus vitamin K, potassium, and various antioxidants, all with very low calories. They're refreshing, versatile, and popular in both raw preparations like salads and pickled forms. However, the thin edible skin and waxy coating applied to conventional cucumbers create specific contamination concerns. The wax coating on cucumbers serves multiple purposes commercially. It prevents moisture loss during transport and storage, extends shelf life, and creates an appealing glossy appearance. However, this coating can be problematic from a contamination perspective. The wax is typically applied after pesticide treatments have occurred, effectively sealing pesticide residues against the skin. This makes washing less effective because water-based washing can't easily penetrate the wax layer. The types of wax used vary. Some are petroleum-based, others are plant-based like carnauba wax or beeswax. Organic cucumbers may also be waxed, but only with approved organic-compliant coatings. The wax itself isn't necessarily harmful, but its interaction with pesticide residues creates the concern. You can sometimes feel the wax when you touch a cucumber. That slippery, slightly tacky feel indicates coating presence. The edible skin contains most of the cucumber's nutrients, particularly fiber and certain antioxidants. Peeling cucumbers removes these nutritional benefits, but also removes the wax coating and most surface pesticide residues. This creates the familiar trade-off between nutrition and contamination reduction. Different cucumber varieties have different growing and treatment protocols. Standard slicing cucumbers sold individually are typically waxed. English cucumbers, those long seedless varieties sold wrapped in plastic, are often greenhouse-grown and may have different pesticide profiles than field-grown cucumbers. The plastic wrap serves a similar purpose to wax, preventing moisture loss. Persian cucumbers, those small crisp varieties often sold in bags, may be less heavily treated due to their protected growing conditions and rapid growth cycle. Pickling changes the contamination equation. The brining process involves soaking cucumbers in acidic solutions, which can leach some water-soluble pesticide residues out of the cucumber and into the brine, which is eventually discarded after the initial soak. However, pickles still retain some residues, and commercial pickle production may use cucumbers with different pesticide profiles than fresh cucumbers. For practical guidance on washing waxed cucumbers, warm water is more effective than cold at softening wax and allowing some cleaning action. Adding vinegar or baking soda to your wash water may help cut through wax better than plain water. Scrubbing with a vegetable brush can remove some wax and surface residues, though you're unlikely to remove everything. The organic versus conventional decision for cucumbers depends significantly on how you use them. If you eat cucumbers with peel regularly in salads or as raw snacks, organic cucumbers eliminate both wax and pesticide concerns. The premium typically runs 40 to 70%, which on an inexpensive vegetable represents a modest absolute cost increase. If you peel cucumbers anyway for culinary preference, conventional cucumbers present lower concern since you're removing the primary contamination zone. However, some residues can penetrate into outer flesh layers, so peeling isn't complete protection. Substitution strategies for similar nutritional profiles include celery for crunch and hydration, though celery has its own contamination concerns. Jicama provides crisp texture and hydration with potentially lower pesticide exposure. Radishes offer crunch and peppery flavor with different pest pressures than cucumbers. Greenhouse cucumbers represent an interesting middle ground. They're often grown with reduced pesticide use compared to field cucumbers due to controlled environments, though they're not necessarily organic. English cucumbers from greenhouses may offer better cost-benefit balance for consumers seeking to reduce pesticide exposure without paying full organic premiums. For homemade pickling enthusiasts, using organic cucumbers makes particular sense because you're preserving and consuming the entire cucumber skin and all. The pickling process concentrates flavors, but also any residues present, making the starting material quality important. The practical takeaway is that cucumbers offer valuable hydration and nutrients with minimal calories, but conventional production involves waxing and pesticide use that complicate their healthfulness. Strategic purchasing based on intended use, thorough washing when using conventional cucumbers, and consideration of organic options for high-frequency consumption helps balance these concerns effectively.